Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to day 2 of the 12 Cast Ons of Christmas 2026. My name is Kirsty, and I am so excited that you're here. 12 Cast Ons is a knit along that's hosted by Ange of Yarn and Yarns, who will be linked below, where you start up to 12 projects between the 24th of December and the 31st of January the following year. And then you just work on them throughout the year and see what you get done. This is my second year participating and my second year vlogging about it, and I'm very excited to be back. Now, every day I have this pot and I pick something out of this pot, and that is what I cast on. But I have a confession to make. This is actually December 29, and I cast on day 2 on December 27. The reason that I'm recording this now is that I went to edit the footage and I realized that every time I press stop on the camera, or thought I was pressing record, I was actually pressing stop. And every time I thought I was pressing stop, I was actually pressing record. So I have a lot of footage of me, doing things and looking for things behind the scenes, but absolutely nothing of me actually telling you what I'm doing or picking something out of the pot. So what I've done, just so that the rest of this vlog today makes sense, is I'm just recording this now and I will just show you what I did in the morning. So the thing that I picked out is this. It is leg warmers. Leg warmers is something that I have been wanting for a while. I wear a lot of dresses and I have some almost knee-high boots that I've been wearing. I think I've had them for 4 or 5 years and they're great. And so I just wanted some kind of boot toppers or leg warmers that I can wear with these boots so that I can keep wearing them, especially in fall, but winter as well, if I'm not wearing leggings, that I can wear them and just have a bit more warmth. I have yarn set aside. I will show you the yarn. It's already wound up, but I will show you a little bit of footage in a minute of me winding it up. But this is the yarn that I have. It is Malabrigo Rios, and it is color Marte. I think it's 161. Let me just double check that. I do have the tag 121. So it's a superwash worsted weight yarn, 100 grams, 192 meters. 100% superwash wool. And I bought this at a yarn show in Wrocław this year. Like, it's actually quite a recent purchase. They just had one skein of it and I loved it. So I bought it without a plan, which is very unusual for me. But then I also had this one, which is a Suri alpaca mohair from Włóczka Wormy, who I will link down below. I don't have like a brand name for this. It's just whatever they have on their site. And I think they buy it in cones and wind it up themselves. So this I've used for a few times. This particular ball is left over from a Moby neck that I made for my dad. And so when I was packing up my yarn, because we are about to move, I came across these and I thought that would actually work really well together to make some boot toppers or leg warmers. I don't have a pattern. I looked at a few and I was trying to figure out what to do, and I wasn't sure. I kind of wanted rib with lace in the middle and then rib at the top, and so I wasn't sure what to do about it. I looked at a few patterns and they just were either not as free moving flowing as what I wanted, or I was like, that's actually just like a ribbed tube. I don't need a pattern for that. So anyway, my thought was, I'll put it in here. I don't have a pattern for it. I'll just make it up. I do have a knitting book. It's like an encyclopedia book. I don't know the brand, but I will show you here in a bit. Yeah, it's a knitting encyclopedia book. So there's a section on lace, and I'm going to go and have a look and see if there's something in there that inspires me to put into the center of this leg warmers. And basically, because I don't have a pattern, I'm just taking, on the label, it has down the bottom recommended needle sizes. So I'm just going to use what it says there. I grabbed a 4.5. It says 4.5 to 5.5. And so I grabbed a 4.5, thinking I'll do that for the ribbing and then I'll go up to the 5.5 for the lace, but we'll see. But yeah, So this is what I've got, and I am very excited. I want to say I'm very excited to get it started, but because this is future Kirsty coming back to introduce you to this, I have already started it, and it's in the bag next to me, and it looks great. But keep watching the vlog and you'll see what's in the bag next to me a little bit further on. So yeah, sorry that the original footage from the day 2 morning got lost. Oh, it didn't actually get recorded. I can't believe I did that. I will be extra careful moving forward. But yeah, keep watching, see what happened, because I am super excited about this project. And I'll check in later. All right, it is 5:15 in the evening, and I have not started this yet, but I am getting close. So I've wound up the wool. You would have seen that a little bit earlier. I have packed 10 boxes full of books, been to the shops. I've done a whole lot of things, but I have not started this yet. So I have 4.5 and 5.5 millimeter needles. Because I'm not using a pattern, I just went based on the range given by the yarn. And then I realized that because I'm holding it double, I could go up a size a bit. So I was originally going to do 4.5. Now I'm going to do 4.5 for the ribbing and then 5.5 for the lacework section, which is still within what it recommends for this yarn held single. but this one, it is a lace weight, like it's 300, I think it's 300 meters for 25 grams. So it's quite thin. It adds the fluff without adding a lot of bulk. So that's what I'm going to do. And I thought I would just show you a couple of things here. The first one is this photo here. That is the kind of lace that I was looking for. However, even though there's a photo here, it doesn't have a pattern for it. I think I could probably figure it out, but there's no pattern, which I find kind of funny in a book that's to tell me all about it. I did find another one that I would be okay with doing, and that one is this one here. I like it. It's pretty. It's not quite what I was imagining, but I could do it. And that one's multiple of 8 stitches plus 1. Now, the yarn says 18 stitches for 4 inches. I did find another leg warmer pattern, which I think said 73 stitches, but that would be, I don't know if that's fingering weight, DK, worsted, what. So I'm going to figure out how wide I want it to go around my leg. And then I'll probably just use this 18 to 22 stitches, probably the 18 stitches as a guide, get some negative eaves in there so that hopefully we'll stay up and get going. I think the other pattern, I think I will try, no, I will cast on probably multiples of 8 plus 1 for the one that has the pattern for it. And then I might see if I can do the other. That looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe multiples of 6. But I could do it multiples of 8. It would just be slightly larger pattern repeats. So I think I might do that, and that way once I've done the ribbing, I can choose which way I want to go. Or I could do the ribbing and then increase or decrease accordingly to make it work. So I'm not too worried. I will take notes so that whatever I do in the first one, I can do on the second one. But probably what I'll do, in fact, let's do this right now. I have a wrist ruler that I got from Kay of the Crazy Sock Ladies shop when that was open. And I'm just going to look. All right, so around my calf is about 15.5 inches. So if I'm wanting, let's just go 16 for the sake of it. If I assume, based on the gauge, that I'm going to get 18 stitches to 4 inches, and I want it to be 16, then 18 times 4 is 80, 72. All right, so if I'm getting 72 stitches, that is 9 times 8. So that gives me multiples of 8. That doesn't give me negative ease, which I don't really care about for around the knees, but to hold it up would be good, both above and below the knees. But do I want to take an entire repeat off that, which would take it down an inch? Yeah, let's do that. No, I was going to say that's then 64 stitches. We're going to stick with that. I'll cast on 64. I'll do a 2x2 rib. And then when I finish the 2x2 rib, if I'm going to do this one, I will increase 1. If I'm going to do the other one, which I think will be multiples of 6, I'll increase 2. And so then I'll have working 65 or 66, but I will be doing the ribbon with 64. All right, I figured it out. So I'm going to cast on, using the 4.5 millimeter needles, 64 stitches. And when I do this for all of my socks, anything that I want extra stretchy ribbing. So I'm going to do the same here, is I'm actually going to cast on over 2 needles. Now, when I do it with socks, I'm doubling 2. When I do it with socks, what do I double? I double 2.5 millimeters. Oh, sorry. This one I'm going to be doubling 4.5. So it's quite a bit bigger. But for the cast on, I always find, let me see if I can let you see what I'm doing here. For the cast on, I always find it's just not very stretchy, and particularly for socks. So I'm just doing a long tail cast on here. This is what I do for all my socks, but I'm doing it, like I said, over 2 needles so that it has a lot of extra room. I sometimes find that for the first couple of rounds, or the first round, it looks a little bit loose when I do it this way. However, I've never had a problem with a sock fitting, and it does seem to even out over time. I don't even notice it anymore. But when I don't do it, sometimes I can't even get the sock up. And so I'd rather do it and make sure that it fits than not do it and have a problem. This one, the log tail cast on, I learnt from one of the Crazy Sock Ladies tutorials. There are lots of tutorials around for it, but I do find learning this thing by a YouTube tutorial easier, because then I can look at it over and over again without asking someone over and over again. I don't know if you prefer to learn from a video or from a person, but that's how I found it. So yes, I have started. I've just done 1 round. So far, I think that's going to be fine. It definitely has some stretch, but it's not going to naturally have lay stretched, so I think it'll be good. It's definitely had warmth added by the zero alpaca mohair, but I don't think it's added a huge amount of bulk. So I think going for the smaller needles for this part will be good, and then I'll see. I may just continue, or I may go up when I get to the rest of it. Looking at this, I'll probably do 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inches of ribbing before I go to the main. And I am mentally thinking of this as bottom up, and then I'll cast on at the top. And if I need to do some increases, then I can do that a bit later. Casting off loosely is always harder for me than casting on loosely, because casting on I do over double. So that one will be interesting when I get to there too. But yes, I have started. I am now going to go down and heat up some food for dinner. Oh, actually, first, I'm just going to put this on. I know I've done 1 row. It's not very much, but I don't want to forget to put that on or lose the marker. So I'm just going to slip that on here at the very bottom. There we go. All right, now I'm going to go warm up some dinner, and I'm going to take this down so that when I'm ready to do some more, it's there. Although that'll probably be after the kids go to bed. I don't know what we're planning to do tonight. Our main thing at the moment is packing. So that's what I've tried to do. All right, I will check in a bit later when I've had a bit more time working on this. Bye. Hello, checking in one last time before I go to bed. What have I done since I've seen you since I last checked in? I packed another box. We had dinner, put the kids to bed, and then my husband and I watched Big Fat Quiz, I think it was. But I did get some work done. So I not only did I cast it on, but I have done all the ribbing and a little bit of the patterning. So I'm not using a pattern. I am using as an inspiration the one that was in the book that did not have a pattern. I liked the way that it was a bit irregular. So I had a bit of a think, figured out how to do something very similar. it is very dark yarn in a very dark room now. But yeah, so you can see maybe you've got 3 yarn overs here so far, and the knit 2 together are over here. So they'll converge, and I think I'll end up doing a bit of a zigzag, just like the pattern. Anyway, it's not an obvious over-the-top pattern, but I like it. It's enough to add a little bit of interest. The way that I'm doing it, every second row is a rest row, which means that it's actually quite easy to do. And yeah, it's like a 6-stitch repeat, the way that I'm doing it. So it is every 6 stitches, I'm just doing the same thing over and over. I have put on my Ravelry page the notes of how I'm doing it. So if you're wanting to give it a go, that is there, the yarn I'm using, as well as the notes of how I'm doing it. But basically, I'm just moving the yarn over a stitch every time, and the knit 2 together is staying in the same column. Yeah, so anyway, so far I'm enjoying it. It is nice and small. It fits. It may, if anything, be a little bit big, but that's okay. And I did weigh the yarn. I forgot to split it into 2, but I just weighed it, and so far I've used 13 grams, and that is 18 rows. So I could do some maths, but basically I'm figuring if I do 60 rows, like I'm taking the 12 rows as about 10% of a ball, which means 20% of this. So if I do 60 rows total, yep, 12, 36, 12, am I doing my maths right? Then I should be okay. So we'll see, because that's 6 rows there. So if I do 5 more of them, I don't know if it's going to be long enough. I put my boots on today, and they aren't at the top of my calf. They're a little bit of the waist down, maybe a couple of inches down. And I want this to stick into the top of my boot. So I'm going to have a bit of a play and see if that's even going to be long enough. But I think I'll work to where I think I need to start the ribbing for the first sock and try it on. If I think it's not going to be long enough, then I may even just buy another skein of this. It is beautiful. I would love to have a jumper out of this. But yes, if I need to buy another skein to finish some leg warmers, that's okay. So I'm going to go to bed now, and I will check in again tomorrow for day number 3 of the 12 cast-ons. If you have started something, if you've cast something on, I would love to hear about it. Please put it in the notes down below. And if you're not casting on new things, but you're working on something different, I'd love to hear about that too. Wherever you are in the world, I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you again next time. Bye.